Yeah, good morning, students. In this class, in this session, we are going to see about the Election Commission of India. That is the constitutional provisions provided in for the Election Commission of India, Constitution of India book during the implementation of the 1950. Okay, as the Election Commission is the Election Commission is provided in the 15th part. Okay, that is in the 15th part of the Indian Constitution. That is it has the articles from 324 to 329. Total of 6 articles are available in the Election Commission. That is article number 324 to 329. In this session we are going to see about the articles 324 to 329 in detail. Okay, yeah. First article is in 324. This first article speaks about broadly speaks of the functions of Election Commission and its composition. It's here the functions of EC and its composition means the functions means how the elections are to be done, where for what are the posts the election should be done. That is like a MLA, MP, President, Vice President, and all, and its composition. Its composition means that how many members can be present in the Election Commission. That is, for example, right now there at present there isn't 3 election commissioners who are available for the Election Commission of India. It can be varied. It can be varied from the number. That is, it is depends on the president wish. If he want to change the number, means he can change it. Okay. That is the provision provided in the article 324. That is, it will speaks broadly about the functions of the Election Commission and its composition. Okay, that is, it should monitor the elections held in the state legislature. Similarly, for a local government, those things should be monitored and controlled by the Election Commission of India. Okay, by under the State Election Commission. Okay, that is the article 324. Then next is an article 325. This article 325 is for it speaks about the person shall be ineligible for inclusion in the electoral roll on the grounds of religion, race, caste or sex. That is based on the religion or race or caste. Other based panni the person cannot be ask the Election Commission to enroll his name in the electoral roll. So that is we know that is the basic eligibility for the electoral roll is an age 18 years. Okay. That is there shall be one general electoral roll for every territorial constituency for election to either houses of parliament and state legislature. It establishes equality among citizens by affirming that no person shall be ineligible for inclusion in the electoral roll on the grounds of religion, race, caste or sex. In this point tells about that is equality among the citizens, not based on the religion or race, caste or sex. Okay. And the next article is in 326. That is 326 is the it lays down the adult suffrage. That is the who all are eligible to apply to cast their vote. That is, for example, for our that is we fixed that the voting age is an 18. If the person is reached the age 18, he can be eligible for a voting for the Lok Sabha or Lok Sabha or the state legislature. That is given in this. That is adult suffrage. If the person is completed the 18 years, means he can he is eligible for the casting his vote. But here adult suffrage means everyone who all are completed the age 18 without consideration of the religion, caste or sex, everything. If any person completed the age 18 means he is eligible for the voting. Okay, that is told in the article 326. Next is an article 327. It tells about the parliament, the power to make provisions with respect to elections to federal and state legislatures. That is, it provides the how it provides the provision to the parliament. The parliament can make the provisions to the federal and state legislatures. சட்டமன்றத்துக்கோ இல்லை வந்துட்டு சட்டமன்றத்துக்கான எலெக்ஷன்ஸ்க்கு வந்து என்னென்னலாம் பண்ணலாம் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு பவர் வந்துட்டு that will be given to the parliament. Okay, that is given in the article 327. In the article 328 it will confers the state legislature the power to make laws with respect to elections to such legislature. In this article 328 it gives the provisions to or power to make the laws for the particular state legislature. That is, for example, article 327 they told that the state legislature and federal government, the federal legislature, the parliament can make the laws. Here it additionally provides the state legislature also can make the laws to the particular state only. For example, if Tamil Nadu legislature can make the laws to the elections with respect to the Tamil Nadu state only. We can't go to the nearby states to put the rules. But in the case of the article 327, the parliament can make the any power to make the elections to the any legislature of the state in India. Okay, that is the difference between the article 328 and 327. Sorry, yeah. Next is on article 329. This article 329 provides the interference of the Supreme Court or any kind of court involving in the election commission. That is, we know that election commission is a independent body, similar to that of the judiciary. In the Indian constitution we provide that election commission and the judiciary is independent to anyone. It does not have the control. It cannot work under any of the institution, that is like a parliament or a state legislature. They can work independently. That is the given in the article 329. That is bars interference by courts in electoral matters, notwithstanding anything said in the constitution. That is, validity of any law relating to the delimitation of constituencies or the allotment of seats to such constituencies shall not be called in question in any court. இவங்க வந்துட்டு என்ன எப்படி வேணாலும் இது பண்ணிடலாம். That is any law regarding to the election, they can make any law. That law cannot be interfered or questioned by any of the court in India, that is High Court or Supreme Court and anyone. Okay, that is the provision provided in the article 329. Okay, and the next reason in this such a case, as you know that anything can be done with the parliament, judiciary. Judiciary also independent. If any person is thinking that the rules are over limiting or அதாவது நம்மளோட உரிமைகளை பறிக்கிற மாதிரி அந்த மாதிரி இருந்துச்சுன்னா we can approach the Supreme Court or any kind of court. That is the happened in this election commission also. There will be two cases in the 1991 and 1995. In the 1991 the case is between the Union of India and SS Dhanova. That is in that case the Supreme Court give the judgment as the Chief Election Commissioner does not appear to be primus inter pares. That is first among equals, but he is intended to be placed in distantly higher position. Chief Election Commissioner அப்படின்றவர் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா he is the first among the election commission. That is in the Chief Election Commission we have the three persons. That is one is an Chief Election Commissioner and the remaining two is an Election Commissioner. இந்த மூணு பேருக்குள்ள அதிகாரம் வந்துட்டு the power வந்து who has the more power அப்படின்றது தான் இங்கே இஸ்யூஸ் வந்துச்சு. அந்த ரெண்டு கேஸ்லையுமே அதே தான் இஸ்யூஸ். அதுக்கு சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட் வந்து சொன்ன ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட் தான் அது. தட் இஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அமாங் ஈக்குவல்ஸ். சீஃப் எலெக்ஷன் கமிஷனர் இஸ் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அமாங் ஈக்குவல்ஸ், but he is intended to be placed in a distinctly higher position. Okay, in the case of 1995 the very famous person, that is T.N. Seshan for election commissioner. For that case, the Supreme Court held that the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners are equal, but CE is given the power of recommending the removal of Election Commissioner. That is, the Chief Election Commissioner can recommend the removal of the Election Commissioner with the intention of shielding them and not to use it against them. Okay, that is the judgment given in the Session versus Union of India case in the 1995. Okay, that's all. Thank you.